minutes. There we go. Now I'm connected. Right. So, Pete, here. Let's go there. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Give me just a minute to post on Facebook. What kind of weird. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for joining. Just give me a minute. I'll be sharing the link on Facebook and I'll be right with you. If you have a chair, grab a chair. We'll start with some seated elements and then we'll go into standing practice as well. Sure, go. Good. All right. Hi, Alex. Hi, Deirdre. I'm good. Thank you. So let's go again into our essential skills practice for today. And so today we'll look at movement of the spine. Before we get into it, if you have any spinal injury, herniated disc, or any issue with your spine, be very careful. If you're not allowed to do specific kind of movement, don't do them. Follow what your doctor is telling you on this. If you're not sure, then just skip it, verify with your MD, and then if he gives you the okay, come back to the video if you want to try it. The exercise we'll do are based on the three main movements of the spine, which is basically the forward and back bending, the rotation, and the side bending, which play on the spine a bit differently. And so we'll have small exercise for each that we can use bit by bit and gradually increase the flexibility and movement of the spine. The reason we want to loosen up the spine, allow it to move, to be nice and flexible is that it's our main column within the body from which everything else is attached to. It allows a lot of the nervous system to pass through it. It connects different branches, different floors or layers through the body. And there's a huge connection happening to give the body strength as we're even just sitting here, so that the body is well connected and we're not using tons of muscle strength in order to maintain a vertical position. So the first element we will look into today, we'll start with just the side bending. So starting from a seated position, just because it's easier to do it seated than standing, so we don't have to worry about the positioning of the legs. It allows us to isolate a little bit more to work on the spine, and then we'll do it standing as well. So the first movement we'll look into are the side bending. One way of looking into it just to see how our spine is able to bend as we're sitting here is to keep our arms to our side and simply without adding any rotation, because that would create then a spiraling movement. We want to let our arm, so picking up left arm and then letting it slide along the chair, feeling how it goes down and how my body can bend to the side as far as I can without effort. Naturally, the other hand will kind of go up. And then once I reach my limit, gently coming back. So in order to help, I can use the breath. I'll be inhaling as I'm going down to create intra-abdominal pressure, keeping the structure of the spine nice and straight to get just that side bending. And then on the exhale, gently coming back. So as you're doing this, make sure that you're not bringing your weight onto your leg and risking falling off your chair. Keep your weight nice and center on the chair so that you're really simply bending from the spine, starting from the lumbar area, sideways, the thoracic area, the neck, gently, and then gently coming back up again from the waist, feeling the hips, the waist, the lower body, and then getting everything kind of bringing you back into alignment. Once you're here, don't try to force the neck back up. On the opposite, keep the head down, relax, and allow the body to come back, and then naturally the head will place itself again. So, very gently inhaling, using internal pressure from the breath to help us and give us structure, and then gently coming back up, and only then starting the exhale. So, inhaling, up, coming back, and exhaling. Taking a breath or two. Again, inhaling, keeping the internal pressure, coming back, exhaling. Inhale. Then you see how far down you can go. It's not a competition, it's just a question of seeing how much flexibility you have, relaxing the spine, relaxing and gently stretching the muscle on the side of the spine as we're doing this. Up. Keeping your weight at the center, not getting yourself on balance and risking falling off the chair. Coming back. Let's do one more the other side. Down, up, and back, and the center. The next element we'll want to look at is the rotation of the waist. So getting the spine to rotate on itself and not transfer the weight from one side to the other, which would create more of a spiral again. So making sure we're properly seated on the hip bone, balance between left and right. Feeling the stretch going all the way up, pushing the head towards the heaven. And then feeling that gentle rotation. So we'll use, here actually, if you have a Kleenex box or a light book or something simple you can keep between your hands. Right now, placing the elbows onto the ribs, keeping the form parallel to the ground and parallel to each other. We'll want to work first on the lumbar area. Inhaling and gently rotating to one side. Exhaling as we come back to the center. Yawning is optional, but recommended. Inhaling as you turn to the other side. Exhaling gently as you come back. So you can use anything that's light enough that you can keep between your palm without effort. Inhale as you turn to one side, exhale as you come back. And the use of it is just to make sure that we're not turning the shoulders, but that our elbow remain connected to the ribs and that our waist is the area that allow us to turn. Inhale on one side, exhale, coming back. Inhale, exhale. Since we already did this type of exercise in the past, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one now. We're going to move on to the rotation around the thoracic as well. So just the same as with the breath, we always start from the base and gradually go higher. In this case, we're going to rotate first from the lumbar. Inhale, and then rotate from the thoracic, which will bring us shoulders almost facing out, and then allowing the head to look a little bit. So the cervical spine will turn as well. So again, from here, I'll have the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and the cervical spine, just bringing my head naturally up as far out towards the back, and then gently coming back as I'm relaxing towards the center without effort. So inhaling, lumbar, thoracic, cervical, and gently coming back. So I want to make sure I maintain the top of my head aligned with the perineum and the sit bone so that my whole body is stretched and erected, pulling up. And then as I inhale, gently rotate around the spine. And as I gently exhale, coming back. So you're doing these rotation without force, without effort. You're just allowing the body to turn in the direction it needs. Bit by bit, and back. Starting from the lumbosacral articulation joint, and then rotating through the lumbar, through the thoracic, through the cervical, and coming back. Inhaling. Exhaling. Up. Inhale. Exhale. So here in this case, our Kleenex box or whatever you're holding between your hands is traveling a little further. So we have first that lumbar rotation. Then because I have the thoracic rotation coming in and then the upper thoracic, the shoulders will be moving. So my elbows doesn't stick to the same place anymore. There's a bit more movement until I'm as far as I can. But I still don't want to try to pull my arm as far as possible. I'm really working rotation from the spine all the way through and then coming back. So I don't need to have a big shoulder movement because then the whole of the shoulder can move a lot more than the rotation needed from the spine. So I don't need to go that far. As I'm inhaling, lumbar, thoracic, cervical, and gently exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one more each side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. So we've seen simple side bending, we've seen the rotation. Now what's left is the forward rolling of the spine. Be particularly mindful if you have hernia for this one, better to not practice it. Sitting a bit more on the edge of the chair, we'll keep our hands flat on our thighs. And as we're going to move forward and inhaling, allowing our hands to go down the front of our legs all the way towards the feet and maybe even towards the ground. Exhaling and then inhaling again to go back up. Feeling how we can fill up the lumbar area, pulling the spine back up bit by bit, and exhaling. Inhaling as we're rolling forward. Gently exhaling, but trying not to let the abdomen collapse. And inhaling again. Feeling the strength in the abdomen, bringing the torso back up. And here. And here, inhaling, filling up the lower abdomen. Rolling and going a little towards the back. And still with the inhale coming back, exhaling after. So we're always using the breath to give us strength inside to help to maintain the spine in the right position. So if I put myself a little sideways here, as I'm inhaling to go down, I'll use the pressure on the lower abdomen to try to get that pressure pushing, opening the lumbar area, opening the thoracic area, and allowing the spine to gently roll. Exhaling as I'm here, making sure I'm not fully collapsing, but I'm maintaining some structure. And then inhaling again first in the abdomen. Feeling how that pressure is starting to pull me back up. A little bit like those wacky inflatable thingy from used car driver salesman. Car drive. Anyway, car salesman, used car. So getting this inhaling brings you back this strength from the inside and help to align the spine. So here, gently inhaling as we're bending forward first, helping us to maintain the structure and not collapse as we go down. Once we're down, exhale while maintaining part of that pressure and not collapsing. And then inhaling some more, using the internal pressure of the diaphragm to bring us back up and keeping the spine loose and mobile. So we had the rotation, we had the side bending, we have a little bit more of that movement. There are ways where we can play a little more kind of a S shape of rounding the lumbar area, rounding the thoracic area, rounding the cervical, coming back straight, kind of bending a little more, keeping support from the hand on the knees, kind of moving and rippling through the spine with bigger movement up. And to keep some of that aspect. And then again, inhaling, coming down. Exhaling gently. Inhaling again. Feeling how it's the breath that pulls you back and not the back muscle that tries to lift you up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Coming back straight. And then from here, just undulating the spine a little bit. Up. And let's do the whole sequence once more. Inhale. Going down, relaxing, allowing the spine to naturally stretch. Exhale. Inhale on the way back up. Filling the lumbar area, the thoracic, upper neck, head up. And exhaling. Good. How are you guys doing with this so far? How's your spine feeling? No comments. So far, so good. So we'll get into our standing practice for today. So we'll start again with just the simple side bending. Actually, here, let's do this one before. Let's do number 2 from Taiji Qigong Shibashi set 2, just to increase the circulation of qi through the spine. Good. Palm together, fingers facing down. Inhale, allowing the rising through the spine all the way towards the forehead. Exhaling down, letting it sink. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. On the inhale, bringing the awareness through the spine, feeling the warmth circulating up, and then gently sinking down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Activating the circulation through the microcosmic orbits, through the spine, and down the front. continue doing this movement a little bit more. I'm just going to look at the comments. Excellent. Yes, it's amazing how just simply breathing brings us back from that internal pressure. Good. And Beth saying that she usually has a lot of tension around the spine, and this helped to see it and soften it. Very good. So as we use this movement to get the chi to flow, to activate a little bit more the legs as well, get the circulation. Gently bringing our palm on our side, and we'll do the same thing as when we were in the chair, except we'll use the side of our legs to help bend sideways, following the hand as low as we can. And in this case, since we're standing, we'll have just a slight weight shift on the opposite side, just to get us to bend and see how low our fingers can reach, and come back to the center. So inhaling. Coming back up and exhaling after. So inhale. Up, exhale. Very good to help stretch the side of the waist. Allow the neck to be relaxed. Coming back to the center. Inhale as you go down, installing the pressure in the lower abdomen first. Rolling on top of it, gently stretching up and coming back, then exhaling. One more, inhale. Exhale. Now we'll use a movement from, it's in set 8. I don't remember which one of the 5, 6, or 7 that it's coming from, but it's the, um, how's that bird called in English? That bird that has this giant, a peacock. There you go. So it's the peacock opening its tail. So our hands will start from the right side. As we inhale, they'll move up like if we're going all the way around like a big tail of a peacock. And then coming back on the exhale towards the right on the other side. So we want to make sure that the body keep facing forward. I don't want my shoulders to turn. I'm really keeping this frontal plane, allowing my arms to be nice and stretched from one side, and then from the other with just a gentle weight shift from one side and the other. Feeling the stretch from the lumbar area. Up and out. Feeling the Wei Qi all around us, connecting to heaven as we're passing through the center. And back. You could also use the inhale as we go up. Exhale as we come down while maintaining strength through the structure. Inhale up, gently exhale down. Or you do inhale left, exhale right. Both breathing are good. Good. And coming back to center. Going back through the microcosmic orbit and the macrocosmic orbit, since we're circulating the chi through the whole body, but bringing particularly awareness through the spine, circulating the chi going up, and then allowing it to sink. Inhale, exhale. In and down. Let's do one more. Good. Now for the rotation, distinguishing the lumbar, the thoracic, and the upper thoracic and cervical. So at first we'll use turning the waist and pushing palm from Taiji Qigong Shibashi set 1. We want to make sure that the knees are bent enough that we feel that our hips are solid, almost like if we're sitting on a bench. This way we can really get the focus of the rotation from the waist. Palm up, inhaling as we bring the hands towards the center. Turning the palm, rotating the waist as we push and allow the arm to push outward. Inhale, bring the weight inside. Bring the hand towards the waist. Exhale, rotate and gently push. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Because we're rotating only from the lumbar area, the rotation is very limited. It's about 15-20 degrees. So I'm not turning a whole lot. One more each side. From here, shifting into cloud hands, so the same sequence as in Taiji Qigong Shibashi set 1. This time we have from the lumbar, then the lower thoracic, which brings us to 180-degree side to side. For those who don't know set 1, the movement is similar to fishermen casting the net from set 2, except that here the palm are facing towards us and are lower than the eyes. And that's an important cue to understand the difference between the two movements. So here, as I reach the limit of my rotation, I feel I can't really go any further. I'm reaching the limit of what the spine here allows me to do. I could rotate a little bit the head, but even that would be somewhat limited to about 45 behind me. My upper torso, if I wanted to turn it more, would start to create a lot of tension. But from this posture here, if I simply allow my upper palm to turn face out, putting the thumb pointing down, then that opening within the shoulder allows me to, without any effort, rotate back towards the 45, and then here my head could even go almost looking all the way towards the back. So shifting into this movement, actually we'll go back into cloud hands to rotate. So palm facing me, thumbs up, all the way to the side when I reach my limit. And then from here, turning the thumb down, allowing the back of my palm to be about the height of my forehead, which unlock the shoulder, unlock the the upper part of the spine, and allow me to naturally turn a little further towards the back. Shifting hands back into the cloud hand, so the thumb points up, the palm is about in front of my mouth as I'm rotating towards the other side. Once I reach my limit, I flip my palm on the other side, the thumb is pointing down, which opens the upper torso, allow me to turn a little further back. Up, one more time, this way, reaching the limit, flipping the thumb, feeling how that opens the upper part. And now doing just the fisherman casting its net. For a few rotation, inhale towards the left, exhale as you go towards your right to feel that full rotation of the spine all the way around you. Up, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. Good. Back to the center, palms together, rotating the orbits, circulating around and back down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, exhale. In and out. Once more, inhale up and down. Good. Now we have the uh, forward and back. So in order to do this, simply at first, we'll want to take a step forward. And we'll first work with keeping the spine straight as we're adjusting the hips. So simply as we bring our weight on the front leg, making sure our body is aligned with our back leg. And as we bring the weight on the back leg, adjusting from the hips so that our torso is aligned with the front leg. Inhaling as we bring the weight on the back leg so we have stronger support in the lumbar area. Exhale as we move here. And we can use the twin dragons going out to sea movement, allowing us to add a little bit more intensity to it, since the weight of the arm allows us to see if our lower back is a little weak and disconnect, or if we can be nicely connected, aligned, and then exhaling, gently moving forward, aligning the arm with the torso, with the back leg. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, exhale. In and out. One more, in and out. From here, we'll allow our hands to dive a little deeper under, crossing at the wrist, inhaling, stretching up, exhaling. Here we can allow the spine to bend a little bit more, relaxing the head, bringing the weight back onto the back leg, unrolling the spine gently while making sure that we don't bend the spine as we go back. We want to keep the spine straight. So this aspect is not specific to the digging the sea and looking at the sky from set one. It's an extra element that is not present but that we're using now just to play with the spine and be able to give it an extra forward bending, coming down, letting go, rolling, inhaling, feeling the pressure on the inside, bringing the spine back straight as we inhale, up, exhale, gently moving forward. Relaxing, letting the spine gently roll forward, coming back, inhaling, exhaling. The risk or the difficulty, I should say, with this, as we're rolling and having really the whole back rounded and in this position, is that when we go back and bring the weight on the back leg, the tendency will be to actually roll the spine and bend the spine, which creates a lot of tension. So we're actually undoing the relaxation we just did. That's why, as we're here, we want to make sure that with the breath, the breathing, the abdominal pressure that comes from the inhale, that our lumbar area gets stretched and strengthened, and that we maintain it as we allow the rest of the body to go straight and maintain that stretch of the spine and not overpass it and start to have bending towards the back. So this is where we have to be a bit more careful as we're doing it in this way to allow the body to naturally move back. Stretch the spine all the way towards the neck, coming back and down. One more, inhale. Exhale. Good. And one more exercise to help with all this forward bending. We're gonna simply cross our arms together, standing feet side by side, allowing the head to naturally start to roll down and letting the spine roll downwards bit by bit. So once I reach the base of the neck, I have to bring my shoulders a little forward, keeping my legs extended completely, rolling, rolling, and kind of allowing the thoracic spine to roll bit by bit, stretching more and more towards the lumbar area, and then rolling as well around the lumbar area, up, almost like if I have to jump over something, and then allowing the shoulders to be relaxed so that my arms can naturally dangle, stretching the back of the legs, still not rolling the hips yet, just trying to stretch the lumbar area until we reach a point where we can't go anymore. So there we have to kind of jump over and allow the hips to get us to bend. And then if we relax, we should be able to touch the ground depending on your flexibility. And then here, in order to go back up, bending the knees, bringing the hips under, straightening the spine, and coming back. So we'll do this again, crossing the arms, allowing the shoulders to be relaxed, gently rolling the spine from the neck down the upper torso, the middle of the back, feeling like you're almost pushing and rounding the spine towards the outside. And here you can start to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed simply by allowing your arms to move a little bit. Feeling the stretch through the lower part of the thoracic spine, the lumbar area. And you can, if you feel there's a point where everything is at the limit and you can't go anymore, just take a quick break. Allowing the shoulders to be relaxed, allowing yourself to gently rock yourself front and back on your feet without losing balance. You can gently rotate left and right without effort. And then coming back, and you'll notice that you probably gained a little bit of downward and stretch. And staying again, gently rocking yourself a little bit. Deep abdominal breathing, creating intra-abdominal pressure to support. Up, finding that you might have gained a little more, and then up, making sure that the hips passes, and stretching, touching the ground, bending the knees, bringing the hips under, up, and then coming back up and relaxed. Good. And to finish up, one more round of micro, macro, cosmic orbit. Palm together, inhale. Exhale. In and out. In, out. One more. There you go. Taking a moment to enjoy this good relaxation. How the spine feels more mobile, more fluid. And as you're standing here, if you've reached a point where you can feel the craniosacral movement, just feeling it, feeling this undulation of the spine without moving the rest of the body. Feeling it rise all the way, opening the cranial bones, the sinking. Feeling the connection of the feet with the earth. Pulling up through the body, through by way towards the sky, and then the natural sinking, coming back through all the way down. Good. Gently rubbing the palms together. Excellent. And this concludes our session for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, that your spine feel fine, loose, more mobile, relaxed. If you have any question or comment, let me know in the chat. And if not, I'll be seeing you on Wednesday. Take care, guys. It's always a pleasure to see you and to train together. Give it a minute to see if somebody has something to say. All right. You're welcome, guys. My pleasure. Good. So I'll be seeing you on Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye.